the first image is from August 2nd, 2019. The pain level in that first picture is extreme. My face felt like it was on fire. I went through this for several months, and then I finally decided to just take a picture of it to document it. But again, this was a little over a year ago. Pain level was severe. If you are on the psoriasis support group or Psoriasis Buddy on Facebook, those two pages, I posted just a quick post. I think it was a few months ago, showing the transition from when I first started the diet to this year of 2020. This is perhaps the starkest difference that I've noticed from the images that I've taken. I just can't really fully explain the level of pain that I felt in this picture. It was just very bad. In fact, this is probably what I would consider to be the height of the disease. And of course, over here on the right, November 14th, you can tell just from the picture alone, the level of swelling in my face is far less. There's virtually no red puffy psoriasis on the front of my face, on my nose. This area right here in the eyes, that's like the worst place to have psoriasis. You get flakes in your eyes. You're tearing up constantly because the skin around your eyelid is inflamed and it's bothering your sight. So I was very glad when my face started calming down. And I will say that the face is probably the worst part of the disease because it's what you greet. It's what you use to greet people every day. Over here on the ear, you can see just a little bit of psoriasis on my ear. As I'm talking now, I'm rubbing my ears, and I can tell you right now that the level of psoriasis is almost non-existent on my ears. All I'm getting is maybe like a light red color, but there's no itchiness. There's very little flakage whatsoever, and that's consistent with other regions of my body. So let's go and move on now to the back. So I'm really at a loss for words. I'm not an expert by any means whatsoever, but I can't really explain what's going on. All I can say is that it's consistent and it's been going on in other parts of my body. But this was taken December 4th of 2018. This was my back, obviously, but what I don't think I've ever mentioned was this was coming on very quickly, and it was coming on after I had just ended my last treatment of Stelara, which is an injectable biologic treatment or steroid. I think my last injection was July of 2018. And so these early pictures that I took, I think I had a before and after that I did several, like 2 or 3 months after I took my first photos, and you could already tell that the psoriasis was coming on quick. And indeed, less than a year later, in August 2nd, 2019, I remind you, this is the same time that I took the picture of my face. My back was, I was crying. The amount of pain I was feeling in my back, the burning sensation was constant. I was having trouble sleeping. Laying on my back was painful, and there was just no way I can get comfortable. So this is not edited whatsoever, by the way. This image is just, it just looks like I'm on fire, and indeed it felt like I was on fire. And then over here, November 14th, a couple days ago, I took this picture, and you might not be able to tell from the haziness of the picture. I apologize. But this middle section of my back, which is where the psoriasis started, all the way back in December 4th of 2018, and you can see by August 2nd, 2019, was expanding and was rapidly expanding and was extremely painful. This region is the first region that's clearing, and what I've been able to notice from the disease thus far is that as I'm dieting and exercising, The psoriasis is formed, like the original location that the psoriasis formed. That's the location where it's expanding from, and that's those first regions that are healing, that are, I mean, essentially smooth, normal skin. I guess that's the only way I can describe it. That it's just returning back to its normal form. Now the back was by far the most extensive part of my body that was covered with psoriasis, and this isn't even the pictures that I have in between August 2nd and November of this year. It spread throughout my entire back. You can see the spread here, but it looks really pale, and it looks a little blurry in this picture, but I can tell you honestly that my back is virtually painless. There's very little scales at all on my back. It's this light pink hue that you're seeing is actually what my back looks like. It's very light pink, and then again in the middle of the back where the spinal cord is at, this region is returning to normal skin. I mean, my back, I can sleep on my back fine. It doesn't bother me as much as it did before. But again, back in August 2nd, 2019, I was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And lastly, this is the image of my chest. You can see here, again, this was all taken, all these pictures are taken at the same time. You can see the spots are they're few and in between, but they're already very dark red. And again, these are the regions where the disease started, or the psoriasis patches started on my stomach. And by November of this year, you can see those regions are clear. They're gone. So the stomach has healed consistent with the back. You can see in these early pictures in December, the psoriasis just starting. By August 2nd, again, my stomach, very painful. You can see down here at my lower abdomen, the psoriasis forming there. If you look closely over here, you can see that these regions that were starting to come with these red patches, they fuse together, and they're starting to fade away. And the center of my stomach is virtually clear. The chest region, if you look here, where my chest is at, this region was very painful before, had a lot of scales, was bleeding constantly, and I mean, just look at that. If you look around my nipple here, you can see this is not my nipple. This is a bright red patch that's gone. On the other side, gone again. This whole region's gone. But if you look up here towards my neck, you can see the psoriasis is still up there. But again, what I've noticed is that where the psoriasis starts, towards the end of the healing process, and I do think I've rounded the curve and I'm heading towards the end of the healing process. The psoriasis expands out, and it as soon as it reaches, I guess, the furthest point that it can go, it just fades away. And so, yeah, I think that's all I have right now. I do want to mention a couple things. I do have pictures of my arms. You can see here, and I have more images like this where you can see my arms. I do have psoriasis on my arms. I do have pictures of them, but I can't find my USB stick that I put my pictures of my legs and my arms in. As soon as I find those, I think they actually might be on my old laptop as well. I will post pictures of those as well. But again, I'm very pleased with my arms, and my arms in particular. My legs are the last place to heal on my body, but my arms have healed very drastically. Before, when I was seeing my specialist, we couldn't draw blood from that region right above my elbow, where you typically get blood drawn for, just checking your blood sugar and your triglycerides, your cholesterol, all of that. I couldn't get blood work done because my patches were so thick on my arm that it was just very difficult to draw blood. But now my arm is virtually clear. Like there would be no problem if I went and got blood drawn today. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the disease. I will be posting images as I get to them. I'm taking pictures consistently. So if anybody has any questions about the diet that I'm doing, or about how I'm feeling with the disease, feel free to drop a comment or message me on Facebook, and I'll talk to you about it. But that's all I got. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant day.